This is your Solent journalism update at 1:30 with your presenter Lucia Kuprova. Donald Trump attacks media hostility after suspected explosive parcels were delivered to CNN and top Democrats including Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. The parcels were sent to the locations in New York, Washington, D.C. and Florida. However, none of them exploded. FBI have started the investigation to find the sender. President Trump also calls for more civility in the public life. The antisocial behavior on Shirley High Street in Southampton got worse lately, and the residents were calling for help. The police implemented a dispersal order after there were reported 87 incidents of antisocial behavior. Anyone who was caught to behave antisocially in the area was dispersed from Shirley for 48 hours. We spoke to the store manager of Make It Magic in Shirley, Pete Gallagher, how the antisocial behavior affects his business.
We used to have a physical presence of a Bobby on the beat and people around in authority being seen on the street, which would deter possibly people. But there's an issue of lack of consequence, and this is a general sort of, you get people who are enabled, who possibly have issues or possibly just angry with the world or on some form of drugs, who have no fear of the consequences of their actions.
This year's budget will be announced on Monday by the Chancellor Philip Hammond. This will be the last budget while the UK remains part of the European Union. We wanted to know where young people think spending should be prioritised.
Personally, I think the NHS, they've made a lot of cuts recently to the NHS, and I think that's not really something that is going to have a positive outcome at all.
I guess into education, and maybe so we don't have to pay as much for our student loans.
I would say the NHS mainly is our biggest issue at the moment because it's so underfunded.
Like schools and hospitals and just education.
The police of Southampton are calling for help to stop the increase of hate crime in the city. The Daily Echo, along with senior police officers, launched the campaign Love, Don't Hate, aiming to make Southampton the most accepting city in the UK. Councillor David Shields is concerned about hate crime in the city as well.
Really concerned about is the heightened tensions that are emerging with Brexit, which, if we look at the statistics previously, look at a spike in hate crimes when we saw the referendum campaign result coming out. I anticipate something similar happening this time.
The BBC has failed to pay their staff equally. According to the Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee, women are still paid far less than men in the broadcast corporation. The DCMS report also criticised a new BBC pay framework that is not good at helping to compare women's salaries to their male colleagues. And the last, something from sport, wheelchair rugby player Aaron Phipps from Southampton has been named on a Disability Power 100 list. It is the publication which recognises 100 most influential disabled people in the UK. Our reporter Juliet Sawyer spoke to this successful rugby player.
A local para-athlete to Southampton, Aaron Phipps, has made it onto this year's Disability Power 100 list. Aaron, who competed in the 2012 Paralympics in the wheelchair rugby team, made it onto the annual list, which recognises the top 100 most influential disabled people in the UK.
I'm incredibly chuffed. Can't believe even to be nominated is a privilege, but to make it, it's unreal.
A big congratulations to the local athlete.
That's all from us. You can find all our stories and more at solentjournalism.co.uk. We'll be back at 3:30 with our final update.